lovely pass, brilliant work from Messi. Oh, Lionel Messi! It's another magic pass, still it's Messi.
Those yellow boots leaving defenders behind.
It's Messi! Messi gets away from brilliant.
Messi, 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 Messi,
Messi!
Lionel Messi.
Here comes Messi into overdrive. Messi!
2012, the year a 25-year-old dwarf decided to rise above what was considered normal in the art that is football. He stood taller than every player and every record. Everyone, or at least every fan of the sport, know the main record. He found the back of the net 91 times. 91. For context, Messi was the 10th highest scoring entity that year. Not individual. Entity. Meaning he outscored clubs. Barcelona, obviously because he was scoring for them. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Man City, Man United, Dortmund, Chelsea, PSG and Arsenal were the only teams that scored more than Messi that year. Juventus was tied with him. He also scored 45% of Barcelona's total goals that year. But this is where the issue lies. For a player to score this much, you'd expect his entire focus to be on scoring, right? Not for Messi. He wasn't even a striker. He was the focal point of Pep Guardiola's false nine tactic. Messi was essentially playing as a central midfielder, attacking midfielder and center forward. While false nines dropped deep to create chances and score every now and then, Messi was starting plays, dictating the play and then finishing it off. He was doing everything. If you check the stats, you will see that he was everywhere. In the goal scorers chart, he was undoubtedly on top. The second closest to him was Ronaldo with 63. 28 total goals separated the first from the second. If a striker scored 28 goals today, he'd be worth $100 million. $160 million if he's English. And yet, Messi was creating, along with this clinical absurdity. He also only scored 14 of those from the penalty spot. Add 7 free kick goals to that tally as well. Magic. For the most assists for the year, Messi was 5th with 22 assists. While he was outscoring Ibrahimovic, Ronaldo, Robin van Persie and company, he was still competing with playmakers like Mesut Ozil, Juan Mata and Eden Hazard, who were having one of their career best years. For the highest chance creators, Messi falls 3rd. He was literally behind only Mesut Ozil at number 1 and Eden Hazard at number 2. For the most through balls, Messi made the most. Meaning whenever Messi made a pass, he most likely wasn't passing back. He was breaking the opponent's defense line. This is why he takes the number 1 spot for players with the most big chances created, even while 3rd in total chances. And even though pre-assists wasn't a stat then, Messi was still the 2nd highest secondary goal provider, behind only Xavi Hernandez himself. See that? He was among the passers, among the playmakers, and on top of the goal scorers. Ponder on that. And on top of all these greatness, he was clear when it came to getting past defenders. The Magic Man had over 210 dribbles completed that year, the only player with over 200. In fact, no player even had more than 180 total dribbles completed that year. But yet this guy was busy averaging 4.1 successful dribbles per game. You can do the maths. Because of his all-around ability, Messi had more than 40 Man of the Match awards that year, nearing the best player on the field every 2 out of 3 matches. No player had 25 Man of the Match awards, the nearest being Cristiano with about 21. Messi also had 113 goal contributions that year. No player in football's history has had over 100 goal contributions in a year, not to talk of 110 and then Messi's 113. Wow. For context again, Messi was the 23rd highest goal contributing entity. Yep, that's right, entity. Insane. There are several clubs involved, so just check the clubs out yourself. And yeah, there have been claims that Pelé had between 100 to 107, but because of discrepancies of data, I'd stick to what was earlier said. There is also a guy from Zambia that supposedly scored 116 goals. Yeah, let's move on. The year simply will not be repeated. Players today focus on their roles solely, and the ones who are elite are only elite there and nowhere else. Haaland, for instance, is the modern-day king of goals, but he dare not get involved in playmaking discussions. Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne, Vitinha, Bellingham, and the likes are always leading elite playmaker and passer combos, but are never in top 10 scorer discussions. Dribblers like Vinicius Jr., Doku, Kudus, etc. are hardly ever in highest goal contributor combos. But then this little man was doing everything at once in the same year, match after match, competition after competition, opponent after opponent, stadium after stadium, all by himself. There may be shades and similarities between modern-day football players and football legends, but as for Messi, it's understandable to say he cannot and will not be repeated. This year in contention at the very least. With an overall rating of 8.9 that year, backed with the trophies he won both at team and individual level, Messi 2012 was unambiguously a glitch in the football matrix. To add another astonisher, Messi broke at least 20 records in 12 months, meaning a record was being broken by the little man at least every 18 days. That wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be. It's not normal. The football writing gods must definitely have been shook, seeing as they didn't include that in the script. In English, when everything goes right is perfection. In football, it's called Lionel Messi.
The best is Messi. Messi's number 9, number 10, number 11, number 7, number 6, number 5, number 4. So
he is a god of the game.
The last 15 years, no doubt of Messi. Messi is the best player.
The god of the game.
Messi is Messi. I never say Messi is the special one in here because everything he does all the time. So
Di Stefano, Pelé, Maradona, Cruyff, they could all play at any level because they're great players. And Lionel Messi, without question, comes into that category.
I think Messi is one of a kind. What he's doing, I don't know if we will see another player do the things that he does, because he has his way of playing, the style, and to become that player, I don't think it's possible. That's why I say he's one of a kind. I had the luck that I saw him every day, and I saw what he was doing every day. So, I mean, I said it before, it's like playing PlayStation. You give the ball to the guy and you start to go through every player. And that's who Messi is.